increasingly less wholesome and set in the 1960s. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host and warrant officer of Overtones, Ken Lavigne. I'm a singer and vocal coach here on YouTube, and today we are looking at Rammstein again. That's what we're doing this week as we lead up onto Christmas. It's Rammstein week. Why? Because why not? And the song that we're going to look at is Mein Land. But before we do that, I just want to remind you all to please remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the great stuff that we produce here every week on the channel. So now, Mein Land. This looked like a fun little diversion. I looked at a little bit at the lyrics before we got started here, but the music video, the official music video that we're going to attempt to watch, because sometimes these are blocked with a big capital B all in bold red, I might not be available. Like, we might not be able to actually look at it once it's all uploaded. So if that's the case, I will do my best to describe for you all at home what it is that we are looking at. So now, Mein Land, I believe, is all about being in exile in your own land, I think. But I could be wrong. Rammstein doesn't really give an official version of what that means, so we will leave it up to you. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Beach party representation.
With seasonal temperatures, we should reach our normal.
So this is sort of like a Beach Boys inspired thing. They're really going for that whole gadget chic thing. Does the band all have a spray tan or something? Okay, so this is unlike any of the other videos of Rammstein that I've seen. What we're looking at is a beach scene from the 1960s, and it looks like Till Lindemann is like old school David Hasselhoff in Baywatch. He's got the short shorts on, and he's yelling through a megaphone, but not a real megaphone, like just one of those big cones. And he's up on the tower looking out on the beach, and there's lots of ladies running around with big smiles on their face and not a lot of clothes on in their bikinis. Big smiles on the band, big smiles on everyone. Okay, so now the band, I don't know if you can see this, but now the band is all dressed in Hawaiian shirts, matching Hawaiian shirts and yellow Speedos, and they are all they're on the surf, basically, in somewhere in Malibu, and playing their instruments. Like, oh, look at that! And the bass player's got one of those. It looks like a Paul McCartney bass. Oh, what's the name of those basses? Very famous. I should know. I don't know. Why don't I know that? I should know that, dude. I have a bass behind me. I'm learning, okay? I'm learning to play the upright bass. I'm not what you would call a bass player yet. I'm a proto bass player. Okay. And check out that vintage microphone. I actually have one very, very similar to that. Her name is Myrtle. And but that looks like the real deal. Mine is not a remake. It's from a great little company out in Oregon that does sort of vintage-esque microphones that have modern technology inside them. Anyway, blah blah blah. Okay, so the video, I don't know if you could tell from my expression there, and I don't know whether we'll actually be able to watch this video on my video, because often that is the case, that they block them. But in this one, the scenes are getting increasingly less wholesome as we progress through the music. At first, it was all, everyone's running through the beach, and they've got the bikinis on. It's all very 1960s, and now things are starting to get a little bit more strange. We have scenes of people applying liberal amounts of what do you call it? The suntan lotion, not suntan lotion, like I guess whatever it is, sunblock, to people's bare parts. And then we have people making out and getting lots of lipstick. I guess this is I don't know who this is, who is on the screen here, one of the band mates, and he has lipstick all over his face, implying that he's got two girls on either side, and or a girl on either side, and implying that yeah, he's having a fun time at the beach. Okay. So now back to the wholesome images around. Blake has a very large surfboard that he can't manage by himself. Here are the girls. They're running through the surf. Okay, I'm gonna say this. It seems to me like they had the best time ever shooting this video. It's like an easy video to shoot. They are all having fun. They had surfboards up behind them, those giant longboards, and they were pushing them over and goofing around. It's a lot of sort of goofy, fun, frolicky stuff happening. It's still very much in the daytime, and the surf is behind them. Yeah. And it's quite the juxtaposition between the driving pulse, the unrelenting driving pulse of the music behind them. Those 16th notes that just seem to just go on and go on and go on. And then the only break you get is when Till is through the microphone going, "Wohin ist?" He's saying, "Where are you, my land? Where did you go?" I really wish there were subtitles on this one. Now the changes of the images are happening much faster. He's doing his Hasselhoff right here. Yeah! Das ist mein Land. Das ist mein Land. Okay, so vocally, obviously he's adding a little bit of that vestibular false vocal folds as he's yelling. But the interesting thing about adding the false vocal folds when you get that sort of Louis Armstrong monster, Cookie Monster sound, you're actually not really doing any damage to your vocal cords. So go ahead and experiment with that at home. It can be a fun thing to do. It doesn't do any damage. Again, it's the vocal cords. If you're pressing or using too much breath pressure behind the voice, then yes, your vocal folds, which are a little bit more fragile, they can suffer some edema, which is just vocal cord swelling. It'll go away in a little bit, but again, you don't want to mess around with it to the point where you feel like, oh man, I feel really sore, because then you're doing it wrong. just be safe. Let's go, go, go. Whoa. Okay. All right. So the scene is switched, and it's now nighttime, and it's at a luau that has gone wrong. Someone has spiked the punch, and things are getting crazy. The band is all in sort of like their typical black leather clad stuff. Let me see. And like there's instruments on fire and people doing backflips, and it's all very... Now this is Rammstein. Till's got a flamethrower. And now it's just a vision of pure chaos, and there's people all over each other. It's a big mosh pit. Whoa! What did I just... Okay. Increasingly less wholesome and set in the 1960s. Yeah, that last 30 seconds. Whoa. Very, very interesting. You wonder at the symbolism of the images that they're projecting up on the screen here versus the undercurrent of it's sort of like a, what do you call it, a dysphoria? Like you're not really sure where you are in time. You have the juxtaposition between that driving pulse of the music, and then you have this these images that are quite not that at all. It all seems to work, though. It all ties together. And, of course, that last 30 seconds, which I'm sure I won't be able to show, there are several people in various states of undress. I'm surprised. I'm actually a little bit shocked that this was allowed to be on YouTube. But then again, I'm not shocked. I'm just shocked that that's there. It's hard to know. Things happen very, very quickly in Rammstein land. Very, very interesting. Again, a bit of a nice diversion from some of the other stuff that I've been viewing this week on the channel to do with Rammstein. Of course, their live shows are spectacular, and you can just sort of feel the heat as you're watching them. And this is much more not like their live show. Let's just put it that way, this particular video. But the music still has that definable Rammstein sound that is so much a part of what I have come to really enjoy about the band. So now I usually end off each of my segments with a little bit of a commercial for anyone who wants to learn how to sing. You can come on over to my website. I leave a link in the description down below, and there you can find me if you're wanting to, figure out some of the mysteries of your own voice and discover your inner Till Lindemann, perhaps. That all said, I'd just like to remind you all to please remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the great Rammstein videos that we're showcasing this week. And if you found anything interesting or any value, really, really appreciate you leaving your comments down below. Perhaps there's some hidden symbolism and meaning that I haven't touched on this particular video. Again, this isn't an extensive review. It's much more my first impressions and some of my thoughts about this particular video, which may or may not be able to be viewed at any point. At any rate, I would just like to say, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.